How are we doing, everyone? Hope you're all well. Mr. Boulder here, and I'm back today with a contest entry video for my friend James over at the Stormwind79 channel, who recently, a few weeks back, hit 400 subscribers. So congratulations, James. Fantastic achievement. I'm pretty sure he's on over 450 now, so he's well on his way to 500, which is excellent stuff. If you're not familiar with James's channel, as always, I'll leave a link in the description box of this video. So he's running a competition for his 400 subscribers. We've got to answer 11 questions, which we'll be getting into very shortly. So 11 questions to answer. So let's get started on the first one. And the first one is to name a band that everyone seems to be into, but you just don't like. For me, I'm going to go with Amon Amarth. I saw these guys at Bloodstock a few years ago. The stage production was fantastic. The band sounded great. Vocals are good, but for me, the music, the songs more importantly, just don't sort of connect with me at all. I don't see what the fuss is about, and I see people losing their minds over this band. I'm just like, just don't get it personally. Yeah, not a band that I hate by any stretch of imagination, but a band I'm just not into at all, and I don't understand when I hear people sort of rave about how amazing they are. It just doesn't connect with me. Nothing against the band at all. But that's my answer to question one. Amon Amarth, a band that a lot of people are into, but just don't really do anything for me. So on to question two now, which is a band you discovered totally randomly or by accident. Didn't need to think hard about this. It's Nile, technical death metal from the United States. I picked this up on CD when it first came out. The hype sticker said for fans of Suffocation, Morbid Angel, and Cannibal Corpse. So I thought, right, that sounds like me. So I bought it. It was a complete blind buy, and the album absolutely blew me away when I first heard it. So many amazing riffs on this album. Great drums from George Colias. The vocals from Carl Sanders and Dallas Tollaway are excellent, and it's just packed full of great riffs and fantastic songs. Stuff like Cast Down the Heretic, Sacrifice Unto Sebek, and Lash to the Slave Stick, just absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I had no idea these guys were. Bought the album because of the hype sticker and didn't regret it at all. Nile, absolutely fantastic band. And a band that I discovered by accident I absolutely love. So that's my answer to question two. On to question three now. A band or album that you used to dislike but now love. Didn't have to think hard about this, because I did a video talking about this album only a few weeks ago. And here's Anthrax's Volume 8, The Threat Is Real from 1998. John Bush fronted Anthrax, which I used to think was absolutely terrible, but I absolutely love it now. It's an album packed full of great songs. John Bush on the vocals, of course, sounds amazing. For me, the Bush era is underrated. I mean, I prefer the Joey stuff myself, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with the Bush era stuff. A fantastic album that I really, really enjoy now. Inside Out has always been a great tune. Born Again Idiot, Killing Box, Hogtied, Stealing from a Thief. Yeah, I just didn't really appreciate how good this album was. I literally used to think that 2 or 3 songs were decent, but the rest I didn't care for. I've changed my opinion completely. I absolutely love this album now. So that's the answer to that question. Anthrax's Volume 8, The Threat Is Real, an album that you used to dislike but now really enjoy. On to the next question. A band you didn't check out for a long time but ended up really liking. Going to be going back to some death metal. And here's Immolation and their Dawn of Possession album from 1991. One of those bands I've heard about for years, but just never got round to picking anything up. And keep seeing these guys get mentioned during videos, so I've eventually got around to picking up this album. And didn't regret it. Really dark sounding death metal. Great vocals from Ross Dolan. Loads of great riffs on this album. I just absolutely love it, yeah. A band I didn't check out for ages, but I'm glad I finally did get around to check them out, because this is excellent stuff. Picked up more of these guys' stuff since. And that's my answer to that question. Immolation, a band you hadn't checked out for a long time, which you ended up really enjoying. Quick look at the questions again. So on the question 5 now. A band which changed its style or sound for the better. Didn't have to think hard about this one either. This is a massive album for me back in the early 90s. Pantera's A Vulgar Display of Power. Now, I'm going to be honest about something from the start here. I don't dislike the early Pantera stuff at all when they were more of a glam band. The first album, Metal Magic, is not great. But Projects in the Jungle is a fantastic album. I love the second album, Projects in the Jungle. I'm the Night from 1985 is also a fantastic album, and 1988's Power Metal was brilliant. But when these guys ditched the hairspray and that kind of thing, and changed up their style and their sound, they just completely took over the metal world in the early 90s. It's a huge album for me. 1990s Cowboys from Hell is very similar kind of Judas Priest, but this is Pantera definitely finding their own sound. Adding tons of groove, massive riffs, great vocals from Phil Anselmo. Just a fantastic frontman, it has to be said. It really sort of broke the mold for frontmen in metal back in the early 90s. Before him, metal frontmen were all about wearing leather and studs or denim and all had long hair. Phil came along, completely shattered the mold, shaven headed, always had his top off on stage, tattoos everywhere, loads of attitude. And yeah, obviously Vince on the drums, no longer with us, of course, and of course Daryl no longer with us. Great guitar riffs. And Rex on the bass as well, excellent bass player. But yeah, that's definitely a band for me that changed up their sound for the better. Like I say though, I do love the early stuff, the glam stuff. I've got no problem with it at all. But this is superb stuff, and definitely a band who changed up their style for the better. And this is an absolutely huge album for me back in 1992. So that's my answer to that question, Pantera. On to the next question now, which is a style of music or a band that you like, which people wouldn't expect you to. To be honest, I'm very sort of upfront about the different styles of music that I enjoy. Even though I'm mostly a metal and rock guy, I definitely listen to a lot of other different styles that I've shown on the channel before. So I don't think I'm going to be surprising anyone really. But I've decided to go with this. And this is Chic, the Best of Chic. Obviously disco band. I think they're from the New York area. Excellent stuff. Noel Rodgers on the guitar, Bernard Edwards on the bass. Bernard, one of the best bass players to ever pick up the fourth string. These guys know how to write excellent, catchy songs. Noel Rodgers is actually playing a gig in the town I used to live in, Bedford, next summer. Me and my wife have already booked tickets to go and see him because, I mean, he's in his early 70s now. You're not going to be sort of have many more chances to see him. So definitely want to go and see him live. So we've got the tickets booked already. But excellent tracks on this. Stuff like Le Freak, I Want Your Love is a great tune. Everybody Dance, great song. Good Times, My Forbidden Lover, My Feet Keep Dancing. There's no bad songs on this best of. Excellent disco. Yeah, just superb stuff. A band or style that you might not like might not sort of be familiar with me liking, but definitely I love a bit of Chic in this disco. Best of from them is excellent stuff. On to the next question, which is an album which lets a band's discography, which isn't Turbo and St. Anger. Didn't have to think hard about this. Motley Crue's Generation Swine from 1997 is an absolute abomination of an album. It does make me laugh when people sort of slag off the John Corabi fronted self-titled from 1994, but no one seems to sort of talk as much shit about this, which really does deserve to have shit talked about it because it's terrible. Couple of great tunes like Find Myself and Afraid, that was the single. Find Myself, great chorus, really, really good. Afraid, the single, love the bass riff and the intro. A Rat Like Me is okay, but the rest of it is either very forgettable or just genuinely absolutely terrible. There's loads of stuff in this I just do not care for at all, like Let Us Pray. The Shout of the Devil 1997 can get in the bin, completely unnecessary. But the shit icing on this cake is without doubt the last song, Brandon, which is Tommy Lee singing about his newborn son at the time, Brandon, and it's just as fucking horrific as you would expect it to be. An absolutely terrible way to end a terrible album. A couple of decent tunes, but the rest of it is absolute shit and can get in the bin. Motley Crue's Generation Swine, definitely an album that lets down the band's discography, no doubt about it. Up next, let's have a look. Question 8. A festival which you haven't been to but would really like to attend. Definitely Hellfest for me. Hellfest happens down in the south of France. I'll put up a picture of next year's lineup next to me here. What I like about Hellfest is it's got tons of great bands that I like across all sort of different genres. So next year you've got bands like Foo Fighters, Blink-182 playing, alongside death metal bands like Cannibal Corpse, and black metal bands such as Immortal, definitely a festival I'd like to go to. A lineup that sort of crosses all the subgenres that I like, so I'd definitely like to go to that. That'd be fantastic. It's a very big festival, though. I'm not sort of keen on being at a festival where there's tons and tons of people, but if you're going to go to Hellfest, it's a big festival, so you've got to put up with that. So that's my answer to that question. Definitely would like to go to Hellfest. That would be fantastic. So question 9 is a festival which doesn't appeal to you, and that's Download. Again, I'll put up a picture here of Donington 1995, which I went to, which is what Download was before. It's sort of rebranded. So I liked it back when it was Donington. When it switched to the Download format, though, it doesn't really do too much for me, purely because there's loads and loads of bands on the bill that just don't appeal to me at all. I mean, I could probably take all the bands from across the 3 days that I like, and I'll just about make up a one-day festival that I would enjoy. But there's just way too much stuff there that I don't care for, and they seem to just recycle the same old headliners all the time. It's either Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, a couple of others that I can't think off the top of my head right now. Metallica's another one. System of a Down, Slipknot. It just seems to recycle the same headliners over and over again. But there's just not enough there for me to want to go to the festival. And I actually know someone that was thinking of going this year. But when they found out how much the entire weekend was going to cost, they decided not to because it was just so expensive. So Download is definitely my answer to that question. On to question 10 now. A festival you could keep attending every year. And again, I shall leave a picture here of next year's lineup. And it's a festival I've been going to pretty much every year since 2012. And that's Bloodstock Festival here in the UK. A really good festival and not too big as well. Maximum it's about 15,000, 20,000 people. So it's not a massive, massive festival in terms of numbers of people there. But I've been lucky to go pretty much every year since 2012. I go with my friend Paul. The only year we didn't go was obviously 2020 when COVID happened. And we didn't go the year after either because Paul was already doing something else. But I've been every other year since. And it's always a fantastic festival. I met Dan, the heavy metal berserker, there this year, and his partner, and she was lovely as well. Really, really nice guys. I think next year Dylan, Death Metal D 1976 is going, and I think Simon, the Beardy Red Vikings, going. So if they are going, I'm looking forward to meeting those guys next year and hang out with them. Yeah, Bloodstock's always a great festival. Like I say, not too big. Tons of great bands on, and tons of stuff to do, even for the bands on that you're not really interested in. So that's definitely my answer to that question. And then my answer to the last question, question 11, is your favourite alcoholic drink? I've actually got two. Both of these have only been around a couple of years, actually. This will get Dylan's seal of approval. Here's Madry. This is a nice lager. It's only been around a couple of years that I really, really enjoy. Nice and smooth, easy to drink. Great beer, great lager, I should say. And the other one is Beavertown Neck Oil, which is an IPA. Again, only been around a couple of years. I really enjoy this a lot. Tastes really nice. So yeah, that's my answer to the last question. Nice couple of drinks there that I really, really do enjoy drinking when I go out and about. So there you go, guys. There is my contest entry for James over at the Stormwind 79 channel. Like I said earlier, I'll leave a link in the description box to this video below, so you can go and check out his channel and sub to his channel if you're not familiar with him. Thanks for watching to the end, guys. Much appreciated. Get in touch. Let me know what you think about the answers that I gave to the questions. Always like chatting with you guys. And just want to say thanks to everyone that watches, and thanks to the new subscribers. Picked up quite a few new subs recently, so thanks for jumping on board, guys. And of course, thanks to everyone who's been with me from day one. I'll be back with you soon, so until next time, as always, cheers, take care, and I'll see you later.